It's too bad the late great Pat Quinn wasn't behind the bench and in the media room to make the declaration that the Edmonton Oilers sucked the hind banana. Usually it's after the Bulls leave the building that the place reeks, but Sunday was before the Oilers cleared the building to make way for the inaugural $1 million PBR Global Cup this weekend. They were rancid. They stunk the joint out. It was a game in which fans came to Rogers Place with great expectations. Last year's 103-point team was coming off their best performance since winning the opening game of the season 30 over the Calgary Flames, and the fans came to the afternoon game in great anticipation of them grabbing the game by the throat and registering their first back-to-back set of wins this season. People expected some traction off the game the other night and I did as well, said coach Todd McLellan, who didn't have any colorful commentary about hind bananas or such, but didn't try paint a prettier than it was picture either. Obviously, the most disappointing part of it was the end result, but there's a lot that goes into that, he said of the now 481 team that now heads on the road to play 9 of their next 11. They remain in 30th place. Losses accumulating affect the mentality of the team and the belief system. It took 2 years to get it up there. This was not the time or place to write it off as another Oilers afternoon game no-show. Their all-time record is now 527,115 in matinees and 12,163 in the afternoon at home. I didn't think we had the energy. We had some admirable performances by guys who are down the lineup, he said, and gave a negative review to our bigger bodies, said McLellan. The Oilers combined their size and skill to beat New Jersey 63, with Adam Larsson registering 13 hits compared to 3 this night. The Oilers did not show up to try win the little battles and little races to the puck. Detroit did a much better job in the important areas. They got sticks in on it. They got bodies in on it. You have to defend first and score second, and we were not doing that, McLellan said. There was all sorts of room to question Connor McDavid, Leon Draisaitl and Patrick Maroon this night. The three only had one shot on goal between them after 2 periods and saw a dramatic reduction in ice time as a result. Using McDavid's numbers, he went from 621 of ice time in the first to 11:30 after 2 and 15:55 by the end of the afternoon. Draisaitl played his 200th game and had a 4-game 6-point streak stopped. Maroon concluded a 7-game 7-point streak. And McDavid had scored 8 points on a 5-game streak. They've played a lot of games where they carried the team. Some nights they're going to have an off night, McLellan said. The Oilers were down 20 early and skated with brutal body language the rest of the matinee, and losing 40 to the Detroit Red Wings, who had the audacity to start their backup goaltender, Petr Mrazek, against them. When Edmonton was projected and predicted to end up in the Stanley Cup final going into the season, who expected to see any backup goalies this season, they score one early and then get another one right away, and that deflated the group, said McLellan. And, once again, the Oilers were out goaltender. It's hard to finger Cam Talbot for the loss when the star-studded Oilers don't score. There's still tough sledding ahead with a lot fewer days between games. In the first dozen games of the season, Edmonton had 20 non-game days. In the second dozen that started with Detroit, there are 10. Off to New York to play the Islanders, Rangers and Devils in a nice, compact 4-game road trip that concludes in Washington. The Oilers will return home a week Tuesday for their first game against the surprising Vegas Golden Knights, followed by a visit from St. Louis. Then it's back out for 5 more in Dallas, St. Louis, Detroit, Buffalo and Boston. You get the idea. Because of their start, the Oilers need to put a run together in there somewhere. Maybe it'll help to get Talbot on the road and get some sleep. The father of twins went into the game with a 3.47 goals against average at home and a 2.34 average on the road. He also went into the game with a .895 save percentage at home and a .924 save percentage on the road.